Should you play the light side or should you play the dark side? Well, maybe you should play both sides. And today we're going to take a look at a strategy that does just that. Casino craps. It might look complicated, but at its core, it's a simple game. Roll the dice, bet on the correct number, and win. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I am a craps fanatic. My job, to teach you the game, to teach you the math and some strategies, and with a little luck, you can color up. Today's strategy is part of my Dice Advice series where viewers submit strategies on my website and then I test them out here on Color Up. This one is called the Light Side, Dark Side, and it was sent to me by Dan Leitner. You would think he would choose the light side, but actually he likes to play both sides. If you don't know the math of the game, the 7 is the most common number to roll, and it should roll once every 6 times. Now, if you factor in the come out rolls, the average roll for a shooter is 8.5 rolls. So the theory behind the strategy is to bet the light side for a couple rolls, get a couple hits, and then transition over to the dark side because, well, that 7 is coming. It might not come for 30 rolls, but on average, it's coming every 6 rolls and sometimes even less than that. So let's quickly take advantage of the light side and then switch over to the dark side because we know that 7 is coming. Now, we sent this as a $15 strategy, but it can be played at any level, 15, 25, 10, 5, whatever. I'm going to play at 10 because those are the tables I like. So we're going to wait for a point to be established. It doesn't matter what number it is because we're going to then go bet across all the numbers. So at a $10 table, that's going to look like $66 across the numbers. So $64. And then we need $2 for proper payment on the 6 and 8. So $64 across, and then we're going to do an equal amount or $10 don't come bet. Now the worst case scenario is a point and then immediate 7 out. Why? Because we lose all of our bets and we actually lose our don't come as well. So that's when we're most vulnerable. But the idea of this is to move 3 don't comes behind a number. Meanwhile, we're collecting and pulling down those numbers. For instance, let's say the 6 rolls, our don't come would travel, our 12 would pay 14, and then we'd have the dealer pull down our 6. We would also make a new don't come bet. This time maybe the 4 rolls. This would travel behind the 4. Our $10 here. Oh, I'm already out of red. Our $10 would get paid 18. And we'd pull the bet down. And then we would make one more don't come bet. Our goal is to try to get 3 of these. So let's say this time the 9 rolls. This would travel behind the 9. Our 10 again gets paid 14. I'll pay out 15 for 1 here. And we would pull down the 9. At the point that we have 3 established don't come bets, we'd have the dealer pull down the rest of our bets. And we would then wait for the 7 to roll. If the 7 rolls, we would get paid 1-to-1 or $30 for all these bets. If 1, 2 gets knocked off, it is what it is. But we're hoping now that we've collected on the light side, we're ready and in position for the dark side to roll and that 7 to be, a winner for us. Meanwhile, we started with 64, right? So we've got 25, 50, 75, 100, 105. We've got 110. We've got $30 at risk. So even if all of these get knocked off, we still have a profit of $20. But hopefully that 7 rolls and we win another $30 for a total profit of $50. Now, if you're ever in a position where the point hits and you've got all your, well, maybe you don't even have all your don't bets behind. Let's say we had a don't come and let's say the 5 hits. We would get paid $14 for that 5. The puck would go off. Our don't come would travel to the 5. This is okay. Our place bets are off. They follow the puck. Don't bets are always working. So the most likely number to roll is a 7. So if the 7 rolls when the puck is off, that's fine because we're going to go ahead and win these bets. And then we could start the process over. So let's go ahead and check out the light side, dark side with a live roll. All right, I've got $400, $500. I'm trying this at a $10 level. The bets cost $70. You should probably have, I usually like to have 10 times, so $700. Obviously, if you're playing at higher levels, $15, $25 level, you need even more. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with a new shooter. We're not going to make a pass or don't pass. We'll assume someone else is rolling the dice. If you want to roll the dice, you're going to need one of these bets to shoot. All right, here we go. Let's get a point established and see what happens. 5 will be our point. We don't really care what the point is because we're betting all the numbers. So let's go ahead and throw in 50, 65. To the dealer, we want 64 across, so we'll get $1 change. And then let's go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Make our bets proper, 64. And then also $10 don't come. All right, here we go. 5. All right, we're going to hit the point right away. So Charles behind the 5. Our 10 will get paid 14. Dealer, pull down my 5. Puck's going to go off. Puck's off. Our bets are off, except for the don't. Don'ts, lay bets, they're always on. So same shooter. Here we go, coming out. 8, easy 8. Points now 8. Now we can go right back to our strategy. So let's go ahead and get that don't bet. Here we go. Let's see where it travels. Nowhere. 7. That's not good. Why? Because it loses along with our place bets. And then only the 1 don't come bet wins. So we won, it hit 24, but we lost 25, 50, 64. So we lost 40 bucks there. That's not ideal. All right, puck's going to go off. If I can get these slippery chips under control. All right, we'll have a new shooter. Let's get a point established and then go from there. Here we go. 8, easy 8. That will be our new point. Let's go 50, 65 to the dealer. So again, we get $1 change. And get set up here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $4. And again, get our don't come bet going. Here we go. 8, easy 8, point hit. All right, we're hitting points. This goes behind the 8, 12, we'll pay 14. I'm gonna pay out 15 for 1. Dealer, pull down my bet. And also the puck will go off. So these are off, this one's on. Same shooter, looking for a new point. 6 the hard way, 6 hard. Now let's go ahead and get our don't going. We're trying to get 3 don'ts. And that's when we stop and pull down our bets. There's the 6, another point hit. That's okay, I guess. Charles behind, 12, we'll pay 14. I'm gonna again pay 15 for 1. Dealer, pull down that bet. Puck will go off again. Same shooter, here we go. 10 the hard way. 10 is going to be our new point. And we've got 2 of these, so let's try to get a third. Here we go. 12 craps. So we lose with 7-11, we win with 2-3. It pushes on the 12, bar the 12 there. 10 hard, point hit. Very interesting. We just keep hitting points, huh? That's okay. Travels behind, 10. We'll actually win 18. Dealer, pull down my bet. Puck will go off. So, same shooter coming out. Here we go. 8 the hard way. We're actually going to knock off one of our don'ts. So we're now on the 8. We lose this one though. So we only have 2. So let's try it. We're trying to get 3. We just play until we have 3. Here we go. 6. We knocked off another don't. This is where you don't want to see these long rolls of repeating numbers. Travels behind the 6. We lost that 6. We've got 2 of them. We're still trying to get our third. We need a 4, 5, 9, or even 8 would be fine. There's an 8. Travels behind the 8. Puck will go off. All right, 7 now is fine. There's a 5. Now we're rooting for the 7 because we've got our 3 up here. Dealer, go ahead and return the rest of my bets. So we don't have any risk except for rolling these back. but we prefer the roll to the shooter to end. And let's get a 7. There's a 4. Again, we don't want a really long roll. We want a middle to average roll. We don't want a super short roll because we need time to get our don'ts and to collect some passes. So we kind of need that mediocre roll. That's what we're banking on. There's a 9. 2, spot in the dot. And we're hoping now that we don't just knock all these off. All right, we're going to knock off the 8. That's still okay. We don't want to knock off the rest. We want to, there's a 9. We want to roll that, we want to see that 7 for the hard way. Meanwhile, the roll count's starting to get up there and you're like, man, I should have just been a light side player, you know, winning with all these repeating numbers, but you never know. 10, knocking off another number. That's the risk you take. We're playing a average game. We're playing to the average. We're not playing for the long roll because the long roll is going to hurt us. And there's an 8. Meanwhile, you're, you know, dang it, I'm missing out on all these wins. There's a 10. And these will happen sometimes. There's the 8 again. There's a 5-point hit. Man, the shooters hit multiple points. You know, you're like, well, I should have been a, you know, whatever. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? All right, we're back on the 9. It's funny, I play a kind of a hybrid strategy, and then I have this big roll. There, okay, point hit, right back. Puck will go off. And there's the 7 on the come out. So this is interesting, but this does win. So we'll come down and get paid. And then we can start over again once a point's established. So you could wait for a new shooter. I don't know that it really matters necessarily, but this is the same shooter technically. But because we cleared it, we'll go ahead and start over. There's a yo. There's a 5. Point is 5. Now let's go ahead and go 50, 60. We'll go 65 to the dealer. We'll get $1 change. $64 setup. $10 don't coming. And we'll see if we can get three more hits. If this good shooter can get a couple more hits for us. All right, here we go. There's a 9, all right. Charles behind the 9. Come down and let's get paid 15 for 1. And we want $10 don't come in. There's a 5-point hit. Again, monster shooter. And 10 will come down and get paid 15 for 1. Let's actually pay, so that's 25 total. Let's pay a green for 1 chip. Puck will go off. These bets are off. These bets are on. Same hot shooter. Here we go. 8, easy 8. We got 2. We're going to try to establish 3. Here we go. Let's see what happens. 8. Point hit again. All right, 3-point Molly's probably doing good. All right, move behind. Again, 12. We'll have to pay 15. Pull this down. There's 25. Puck goes off. Okay. We've got 3 up here. We should pull these down. Well, I guess we'll wait and see because we might knock one of these off. Here we go. Yo 11. Doesn't affect us. 8, easy. That's what I meant by knocking one off because now the puck's on. We lose this one. We want to establish a 3rd. So let's go ahead and get it going. Here we go. 8. Oh, jeez. Goes off. Puck goes off. Another point. 9. Puck is on. We lose our don't. So again, we're going to have to try to make a new one. 6, easy 6. All right, this will travel behind. 12 will pay 14. Let's pay out 15 for 1. Dealer, pull that down and actually pull down all my bets now. Now we got to avoid these if we can. We're hoping for that 7 to come now. There's a 9, another point hit. Man, this is a huge roll. All right, we're 8. We're out on the 8. I'm gonna knock one down. 4, easy 4. Trying to go through these quick, just so I can get another shooter in here, because this one's been crazy. There's a 7 finally. All right, 20 is gonna come down and get paid 20. Puck will go off, and we're finally gonna have a new shooter. All right. New shooter coming out. Let's see if we can get a different, see something different this time. 4, easy 4, that'll be our point. So we're gonna go up 20, 40, 65 to the dealer. Get that dollar change. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 4. $10 don't come in. Here we go. 8, easy 8. Behind the 8, 12 will come down and get paid 14. It won't come down. We have to ask the dealer to take it down for us. And $10 don't come in. You are working the dealer. There's a 4, easy 4. I would be tipping the dealer. All right, let's travel behind the 4. This 10 is going to get paid 18. I'm going to pay 20 for 2. Pull that down. Puck's going to go off because we hit our point. Here we go, same shooter coming out. I'm going to come out on the 9. All right, bets are all working now, but we need trying to establish a third don't. 4, easy 4. We knocked off our don't. Let's travel behind, and we only have 2, so let's try to get a third. There's the 4. We lose it. Travels behind. Maybe you set a limit on how many times you knock yourself off. And there's the 7. Fortunately, we didn't get the last one up there. So these are going to come down. This 20 is going to win 20. But we knocked ourselves off a couple times and we lost the rest of our place bets before we can pull them down. All right, puck goes off. Let's try it again. Pretty sure we're currently down on the strategy. Here we go. Try it a couple more times maybe. There's a 5, point of 5. Let's see if we can do an optimal. 20, 40, 60. Exact change, 64. We've got it. Dealer, here's 64. Let's go across all the numbers. If my hands would work. It's really cold up here in my office. And $10 don't come action. You probably want to play up in this corner. I don't know if I mentioned that. This is a self-service bet, so you want to be able to reach it. 6, easy 6. Travels behind. 12 will pay 14. I'm going to pay out 15 for 1. Dealer, pull down that bet. $10 don't come in. 10 the easy way, 10 easy. Travels behind the 10. 10 will pay 18. I'm going to pay out 20 for 2. Dealer, pull down that bet. And give me $10. We're looking for the third don't come action. Here we go. 5 point hit. That's okay. Travels behind the 5. 12 will pay 14. I'm going to pay 15 for 1. And actually, that's 25, so I'm going to give you a green instead. 25 for 1. Puck goes off though because we hit our point. We're not going to pull our bets down because we got to see if we can survive this roll here. 8 the hard way. We did. So these are all established. So dealer, go ahead and pull the rest of my bets down. And now we're just rooting for the 7. So here we go. See if we can get an ideal. Nope, we're going to knock one off. At least one. Would have been nice if we could have had a perfect situation and rolled that 7. Here we go. There it is. Not too bad there. So this 20 will come down and get paid another 20. And the puck will go off. Do we have time for another roll? I'm going to try and squeeze one in real quick. Well, I guess the dice will decide if I have time for it or not. If I don't have a monster roll. There's a 7 on the come out. There's an 8 on the come out. So 50, 60, 4 to the dealer. Let's get set up. I'm going to cross all the numbers. With $10 coming. Here we go, shooter. 10, easy 10. Trails behind, 10 will win 18. We want $10 coming though. Here we go. 12 craps. It's just going to be a push for our don't come. There's a 9. So travels behind the 9. 10. It's going to pay 14. So I'm just going to pay you out 25 for 1. 14 for the win. You pull down the 10. All right. And one more don't come. We'll try to get all 3 established. Here we go. Didn't get there, but close. But we didn't pull down our bets. So we're going to lose. How much is this? Just curious here. 54. We win 20 here. And then we pulled back another 24. So 44. We lose 54. Not a winning proposition. The roll was just a little too short. Puck goes off. Let's go ahead and count it up and see how bad we did. All right, here we go. 100. You got this very specific. You need those average rolls. Not too short, not too long for this strategy to work. There's 200, 275, 300. We bought in with 500. There's 1, 2, 3, 25, 50, 75, 400. Oh, maybe we did her better than I thought. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 25. I think we did it. 25, 75. There's 500. We got our buy-in back, so we got a profit here. A little bit. 25, 50. I thought we were losing. 75, 20. There's 100. 3, 600. 605. $610. Look at that. It worked out playing the light side and then the dark side. Whether you like to play the light side, dark side, or both, until next time, good luck on coloring up. Let's go ahead and graph out the light side, dark side using dicer.io. And with the correction, our total we know is 556. That's the proper amount. And then we want to compare it against our standards. So the 3-point Molly, Dolly, and so the light side, dark side strategy, and the hedgehog, which is conservative right down the middle. And, you know, as expected with that big roll that we had, the 3-point Molly did the best, and it ended up with $940. The hedgehog ended up at $600. And so up $100, our light side down a little bit below that. And then our dark side, our Dolly strategy, ended up with only $20. It struggled. It essentially busted out. All right, let's go ahead and run this with random number generated 10 rolls. And we can see that on this particular random number generated 10 shooters. They were all positive, all bunched up around $600, except for the Molly. The Molly was down below the $500 level. And again, this is a $10 table, $500 bankroll. Let's go ahead and 10 more shooters. See what happens here. Looks like we've got a don't roll where it finished up at 800. The Hedgehog did better than the light side, but the light side, dark side was down a few bucks. Maybe it looks like 50 bucks, but it certainly outpaced the Molly, which lost several hundred. Kind of an up and down roll, 3-point Molly. It finished up near 900. The light side, dark side, and Hedgehog finished exactly, well, it looks like it made a couple bucks maybe, but right about break even. And the 3-point Dolly lost nearly $200. Let's try another random 10 shooters. Another don't roll. So it finished up doubling its money, $1,000. But the light side, dark side also did very well, over 700. Hedgehog does its thing, and the 3-point Molly really almost busted out. So it's interesting on dark rolls. The light side, dark side strategy does pretty well, but it fares decent. Okay, this one was a bad one actually. The light side, dark side. It performed its worst. Lost, I don't know, $200 and some, where the rest, well, the dark side ended up. The other two strategies down just a few bucks. One more time. I love these kind of simulations. All right, big rolls, 3-point Molly, as expected, over $1,200. Light side, dark side, also over $900. Hedgehog just breaks even, and the 3-point Dolly busted out. If you're enjoying my videos, consider supporting the Color Up channel by joining my club, the Color Up Club. It's an awesome community of craps enthusiasts just like me, and I also give out some free swag. So check out my website, colorup.club.